welcome back to Chosen Queen A, where I'm back with another message. And I'm so excited to be delivering this next message. And the next message I want to talk about is knowing that you are protected. A lot of people don't know how protected they are. So at times they may not take certain risks or do certain things because they don't understand their protection. When you trust in God and allow God to lead you, you become in his protection. So therefore, anything that come up against you, no matter what it may seem, you are protected against. So people need to be aware of their protection, knowing that when they're doing the right things, they're automatically overly protected. Sometimes God protects us in situations where, we may not be all the way that we're all going the right foot, doing everything right, but God will look out for us. And, it might be a life or death situation, or it might be, for instance, the police drives behind you and you are nervous because you were speeding, and this is the day that you get a ticket and you don't go to jail because you're tired, because your tags are expired, etc. They don't take your car, all this other stuff. Like, sometimes when we're not right, God will still protect us. But imagine the other protection that you have when you are leveled up in your spirit, where you're full, you're filled, you've been doing the right things, you're making the right moves. So now you can actually do things that other people may not be able to get done because they may not be all the way right with God. There's that basic coverage, and then there's that extra protection. Okay, it's like this is the protection where you don't even need no deductible and everything is paid for. I feel the more stronger your relationship that you have with God, the more connected that you are with God, the more that you're doing his will. So the more that you will be protected. You will be super protected because you're following his instructions. And when you can hear him and follow the instructions, then nothing can come against you. So no matter what obstacle, no matter what people say or do or try to make you feel, it can never waver you, because you know that you're protected. And God put you on a mission. So regardless of what it may seem like, if God told you to do something, you do it because you are protected. You're not worried about protecting yourself. You're not worried about what you can do. You understand what's going on, the theory, the logic, that God is in control. There's nothing that you can do but trust God, love God, and listen and act when he tells you to act. So when we have these higher frequencies, when we're able to hear him and move, when we got rid of distractions, we actually did something to be able to have this access to our higher self. Because when you live in the world and you're not cautious and you're not making the right decisions and choices to be able to hear, like if you're not cutting out your cell phone time, if you're not cutting out what you listen to, the people you talk to, the food you eat, what you do every day, things, habits, if you're not cutting this stuff out, it keeps you in a constant program. So this is how to get outside of that. This is when you put effort to get outside of that program. This is what I'm speaking on. So, but when you put that effort in, God's like, oh wow, you want to hear me? Oh, you want to move with me? Oh, you want to level up in rank? You're making space. You're preparing because you want to get somewhere. I have great plans for you, so you're preparing to hear me and not your own plans, because your own plans can get you far. But he says in the Bible, or it says in the Bible, that he's bigger than what you could think of, imagine, or anything. So all your biggest dreams and goals, God sees something bigger than that, than what you can even imagine. So if you're going to trust God and you're going to move, it's going to be hard to do things like that when regular society has a way to do things and God is telling you to do something. It's going to sound like, okay, well, the rest of society is not doing things this way, or somebody was in the same circumstances and that didn't work out for them. But for you, you are protected. God says you can maneuver in that door. You can open that door. You can do this. You can do that. Don't. There's nothing for you to be fear. I didn't give. It's nothing for you to be afraid of. I didn't give you a spirit of fear. What did he say? I gave you a spirit of a sound mind, of love, power. He didn't. God did not give us a spirit of fear, but He gave us power, power of love, joy, and happiness. All those properties, all these virtues. If you go by those virtues, you're in the flow of goodness. You're in the flow of good energy, higher frequencies, higher vibrations. You're in the flow of Ma'at. You're in the flow of the divine. You're in the flow of your natural energy. It hasn't been manipulated by society, by a program, by a belief, by a religion, but it's totally free and flowing in the spirit. You'll be so protected. You be moving around here. You know, it's like how the Bible in the story, it says how Jesus was just going around performing miracles everywhere. And they was looking at him like, wait a minute, who he think he is? He coming up here talking about he the son of God. He got the power of God in him. He can heal the sick. He can feed them. He can do this. He can feed people with loaf of bread. They looking at him like, man, who you think you are? But he knew who he was. He knew the power that he had. And he came up on this earth. And I was just using this scripture or this Bible and this in Jesus depiction. I'm using that just for a reference because I understand the hidden message I want to say. I'm decoding this for you so you can have a better understanding. But God, when he came out here as they say, God, he comes here as a human form as Jesus. And he's doing all these things, and he's so powerful with that power. And people looking like, I ain't seen nobody do this before. We don't do things like that. We don't heal. We don't. Only John the Baptist can baptize. We don't see. Make sure the blind can see. We don't perform no miracles. Man, that's witchcraft. That's this. That's that. They said everything about it. There's no way. It's magic. They doubted him. And you know, did that stop God? Did that stop Jesus? He was like, all right, I know I'm finna come here and perform miracles and do things that no one else did. And the disciples had to take on that same mentality. And so do we. We have to take on that same mentality if you're really trying to unlock and get outside the program. You got to take that mentality like, you know what, I'm going to make moves and do things that nobody else has done before. And I'm not going to fear what someone could say or who could come against me or whatever comes after that, because I know that God told me to move and I am protected. And I'm not saying like somebody do something irrational like, well, you know, I'm going to jump off a cliff and expect God to catch me. I'm way not there. I want you to stay with me when I say I'm connected and I know what Spirit is talking. I'm so close to God. I know for a fact what Spirit has told me to do because I did the proper precaution to eliminate the distractions, to hear God clearly that when I do make these moves, it's what He wants me to do. And I am protected. So you are protected. That is the message, that you are protected. No matter what you think, even if you're not even in the right place, making all the right moves, when you have a destiny and purpose, you are protected. Your angels protect you. But the more you dig in and dive in and you put out more of what you want to get back, the bigger the protection. And that goes for a lot of things. But I'm glad that y'all tapped in with me. I hope that y'all love the message. Like, share, and subscribe. I cannot wait to see y'all here again. Bye-bye.